Hello and welcome back to my channel. We were at a game night last night and my friend's 5-year-old adores um, long hair, Rapunzel. And when I go over there, she just is obsessed with my hair and she pulled it all over and was like, "Your hair looks best like this. Leave it that way." So I said, "Okay." So Elsie, this style's for you. I don't know. I was feeling it, so I kept it. Thanks, girl. Anyway, hi, I'm Sam. If you're new here, hi. We talk books here, and this should have been up a couple weeks ago, but it's been a super shitty July so far, and it's I've just been trying to pull myself out of a rut, out of a funk, out of a reading slump as well, and it's not been a fun month. A lot of shit personally that's happening, but there are good things coming out of it. Lots of things down the pipeline that I'm just trying to wrap my head around. And one of those things is going to be this channel, as I would like to do more with it, and I have some fun ideas. So hopefully I will keep up with that. Shouldn't have a problem now doing that. I'm not bitter at all. So anyway, we're going to talk books because that's way more fun than the other shit out there. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so if you read the title, this is going to be June's reading wrap-up. Again, it should have been out a while ago. I was hoping to have the mid-year freak-out tag done by now, but things. So the very first book, I'm just going to get right into it. I only read 4 books in June, and when I said that, my boyfriend was like, only 4. Only 4. You only read 4. Ooh. And I was like, you know what? That's been low for me. But I did read 4 very good books this month, or last month. So I'm not angry about it at all. I'm often in competition with myself when I'm reading and doing things like that because I don't know, that I'm a competitive person and reading's not a competitive sport, but I always like to, I don't know, I like to outmatch myself. If you're a competitive person, you understand sort of where I'm coming from. I don't have anyone to compete against but myself, but reading is not a competition. But it kind of is some months. And some months I'm more motivated. Then I look at the more motivated months when I'm not motivated. I'm like, okay, be more like that. Go do that thing. So here we are. 4 books in 1 month. I'm a mess. Okay. The very first book that I read was Infinite Country by Patricia Engel. This book was so good. It is not that long either. It's only, let me see here. Oh, I just had it up. Oh no. It's only 191 pages in the hardcover. It was not long at all. The audiobook was very good as well. But this is about, our the broken system, the broken immigration system, broken families, torn apart. So the main character that we're reading from her perspective is she got put away to a juvie for a violent act. Now, in reading about this violent act, I feel is completely justified. I'd have done the same thing. So, yeah, but it was still a violent act. And she was very surprised at herself that she had the capability to do something like that. And I think when it comes to it, when someone says, well, what would you do in this situation? You don't know until you're in that situation. You can speculate all day long. You can think, oh, well, I'm a badass and I would do this. But you might take the flight option, which is valid, fight or flight, whatever you feel. Or you could be the one to say, I'm going to fly, I'm out of here, and be the one to really embrace that fight when you're in that situation. You just don't know till you're in it. So it's sort of one of those things. But she is trying to get to America. She escapes. Then she has to trek across the country in Colombia. She has to trek out of Colombia because she has a ticket to the United States so she can go be with her mom and her other siblings. And then throughout her journey, we're also getting flashbacks of how her parents came to the United States, why they came, the things they had to do, the things the mother went through. Please be aware for sexual assault triggers. Take care of yourself reading that. This short book packs such a big punch, and I really loved it. The cover is beautiful. It caught me right away, and this was very good. I really, really enjoyed it. The second book that I read in the month of June is something that I really didn't expect to read. I saw a YouTube video about classic sci-fi. I cannot remember which one. I am so sorry. If I find it, I will link it down below and give credit to where I saw this. But it was about the Village of the Damned, and this book that inspired the Village of the Damned, which is called The Midwich Cuckoos. I was actually really surprised at how much I enjoyed this book. It, again, is very short. This one is only 220 pages, originally published in 1958, and is about the Village of the Damned. You know, this whole town, everyone gets knocked out, fallen asleep. All the women wake up pregnant. They are pregnant rapidly. They give birth to these little, alien children. They're all blonde hair, and it's just really creepy, eerie, and they grow at an exponential rate. They learn at an exponential rate. Eerie. In this short classic sci-fi book, it was creepy. It was touching because the moms, have this connection that some of the dads feign connection. You have to keep the kids happy because turns out they have, powers. They are aliens, and they, and they can cause things to happen if they're unhappy with what is happening at the moment. So, and then one man sacrifices himself to take out all the children, and these children trust him, which is why he felt he was the one to take them out. And plus, it turns out that he was very sick and was going to die in a couple months anyway, so he decided, I'm going to unalive myself and take out all these alien children that are holding the town hostage with me. And apparently this happened elsewhere in the world, and no one's really talking about it. I don't know, it was really good. I really enjoyed this way more than I thought I would, but this was really cool. Over on my TikTok, I just did a short little video of the different covers of the Midwich Cuckoos. I think I want to do a whole video just reviewing the covers because some are really creepy and some are really cool, and some just kind of don't understand why that's the cover. But just covers from around the world and classic sci-fi are a little crazy, and I love them. The third book that I read in the month of June, I actually have with me physically, and it is quite the chonker. This is Tomi by Junji Ito. Look at how freaking thick this thing is. It is over 800 pages of just some creepy imagery, some really cool stories. I read somewhere that you get a Junji Ito book for the art more than the story. I can somewhat see that. I think that the story and the concept of Tomi is awesome and really creepy, and we do get some insight as to how she came to be, but I think there's more that could be told here. This is the whole deluxe edition, so this is the entirety of the Tomi collection by Junji Ito. And I was really excited because I got this on our first trip to a bookstore after our vaccinations, and I was so happy, and I was walking around the house going, I got a Junji Ito, I got a Junji Ito. So I was really excited about it. And then I immediately ordered Shiver, which is the other one, and it's sitting, oh my gosh, no, it's sitting right next to me. Ha. I let a friend borrow this one while I was reading Tomi, and I just got this back last week, and I started it. So I think some graphic novels is helping pull me out of my reading rut, and I am appreciative, but I want to read more Junji Ito. It's very exciting. So Tomi, and I will say with this book, I did learn something new because I read that she's described as a femme fatale, and I was like, oh, I don't know about that, because I sort of associate Femme Fatale with the TV show Nikita way back in the day. And I think of a femme fatale as someone who's sort of like a deadly spy, like Black Widow would be a femme fatale to me. But apparently the actual definition of that is it is lethal woman, which that would still apply to someone like Natasha Romanoff or Yelena Belova. So sometimes called a man-eater or vamp, is a stock character or a mysterious, beautiful, and seductive woman whose charms ensnare her lovers, often leading them into compromising, deadly traps. So yeah, Tomi's definitely a femme fatale, and if you say that word enough, it loses its meaning. Blah, femme fatale, femme fatale, femme fatale. So yeah, anyway, so she, these men fall in love with her, and then they're willing to do anything for her, but they love her so much, they love her so much that they have to kill her. and she dies over and over and over again, but she multiplies and keeps coming back. And like the concept of Tomi is so creepy and I love it. And so the artwork is fantastic. Of course, it is horror, in the genre of horror. So if that's something you're not into, please be aware of that if you want to give him a try. I love it. I love the creepy imagery. Good stuff for me. Now, the final book that I read in the month of June is the final revival of Opal and Nev by Donnie Walton. I believe this is Donnie Walton's debut novel, I think. This was one of the longer ones. Well, I read 2 really short books, 1 really long one, and this one's more average length at 368 pages. I listened to this on audio. Now, the narrators did a fantastic job. The actors were great. However, I would do this one. I would physically read this one, just because it's told in the style of like interviews. Sometimes it was a little like, wait, where did this person come from? And I would have preferred to have read it after listening to the audiobook. Now, nothing wrong with the audiobook. Like I said, the actors did a fantastic job. All the voices were great. And they really brought those characters to life. It's just the format, I feel, is better when you're reading it. So if format is a big thing for you, I would not go for the audiobook version. If you don't really care about format, you just want the story, audiobook's fine. So that sounded really like, oh my God, audiobook is fine. You guys, just read the audiobook, okay? Okay. No, physical books are better. No, ebooks are better. Oh my gosh. I could tell I'm losing my mind. But the final revival of Opal and Nev was really good. I really enjoyed this. It's sort of in the vein of something like Taylor Jenkins Reid books, where it's people in the limelight, center stage, Daisy Jones and the Six, The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I still have to read Daisy Jones, and I just got Malibu Rising in the mail. Thank you, Book of the Month. Not sponsored, not affiliated, although at some point in the future that would be great. So watch and share and click on all the things and follow in all the places. Do that. So the final revival of Opal and Nev is obviously about Opal and Nev, and 2 people that come together musically. Now, Nev is trying to make it big, and he needs a female. Like, he's not making any splash by himself, and they think that he needs a female partner. So he travels the world, goes to all these, like, dive bars or open mic nights and stuff like that, trying to find his perfect partner, and he finds that in Opal. Now, her stage name is Opal Jewel. And that's really the main and only issue I had with this book, is that I thought that was really stupid. I thought the name was dumb, and they're like, oh, it's so great. And in the book, she's like, oh, yeah, that's great. And Nev's like, yeah, this is great. And I'm like, you're trying to convince me that that's good? I thought it, Opal's fine. Jewel's fine. Together, no. I thought personally that was a dumb name, but whatever. Doesn't take away anything from the book. It was just an observation on my part. So there's a lot of racial tension in this book, so be aware of that. But it was good, and Opal is very outspoken about, as an African-American woman, is a proud African-American woman, and she is very outspoken about equality. And the same things that are being said right now were said then. Again, as I've said in other videos, almost nothing has changed, and that's stupid. So let's all be like Opal and help make that change, because we're all fucking humans in the end. So anyway, but I digress. If you know, you know. But I digress. Opal and Nev, really good book. Would have preferred to read it. I saw this on Book of the Month, and I didn't choose it, and I can't really say why, but then I couldn't find it as an add-on, so I was like, and then I saw it come up on audio, and I was like, yeah, I want that. So, yep, the cover struck me. I think it's a great cover, and it just stuck with me, and I was just really drawn to it. It's like, I want to read that. All right, so that was just a really quick look at June's wrap-up. I hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot more coming down the pipeline. There's a lot that I want to do, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. Give it a like, share. Like I said, follow on the things and on the places, you know where to go, and you know where things are linked. I don't need to tell you. But until next time, I will talk to you soon.